All right, y'all. Let's call the meeting to order of the August 25th, 2020 Board of Elections of Upson County. And thank you all for being here today. I hope you all have had a good summer so far. And I have pretty good. It's been all right. So if we would,
I can move in.
let's.
We have to separate, remember. Where's your mask?
Right here.
So let's start out with our invocation. Jessica, would you lead that for us?
Heavenly Father, we come thanking you for all of your amazing blessings. God, we thank you for this day and this opportunity to gather. And Lord, we ask that you be in the midst of us as we have this meeting. Lord, we ask that you lead, guide, and direct our minds. Lord, we ask that you help us to make decisions that are pleasing in your sight. And God, we ask that you bless each person that is here and bless their families, God. Lord, we ask that you continue to bless our country. And Lord, we ask that you lead, guide, and direct us in all things. God, we thank you. We ask forgiveness of all of our sins and wrongdoings. These blessings and others we ask in your son Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jessica. All right, Secretary's report. You all have a copy of the meeting, minutes from last meeting, and hopefully you've had a chance to read over those. Take a moment to do so. All right, is there
I move that we accept the minutes.
all right, we have a motion to accept the minutes by Jack,
I second.
second by Janice. Is there any discussion or are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? If none, all in favor of accepting them as written?
I abstain.
You abstain? Okay.
I wasn't at the last meeting, so.
All right. All in favor of accepting them, raise your hand. Any opposed? And Jessica's abstaining, so these are passed. Nobody here. We do have, I'm going to go ahead and read under public comments an email we received from the Democratic Party on some issues that they wanted to see, and I'll just read these now, and we can discuss them further. We can either do it now or we can do it later on down in the discussion. It's part of the agenda, but I'll read them. I'll read this under the public comments section here. This was sent to Pam on August the 16th from the Mr. Gary Larson from the Democratic, on behalf of the Democratic Party. It said the Democrats would like to see the following for the November 3rd election. And there's a list of 8 things. Number 1, consistent hours for voting for advance voting. Number 2, advance voting hours similar to regular voting, for example, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Currently scheduled hours do not work for people who have jobs. 3, we'd like to see voting 7 days a week, or at least the addition of a Sunday. Number 4, we'd like to see more than one location for advance voting, perhaps adding back some locations that were eliminated as polling precincts when that move was made. Number 5, we'd like to see more drop box locations. The Democratic Party would like to know if the reason for only one drop box location is financial. If so, they may be able to help in locating alternate funding. Again, putting drop boxes in all current and former precincts would be ideal. Many counties have applied for the CARES Act funding for such initiatives. 6, we'd like to see the county take the initiative to pre-populate vote-by-mail applications and send them out to all registered voters in the county, since the Secretary of State's office is not doing it this time around. It is still something you can do. 7, we'd like to see the county pay the postage for vote by mail ballots for November. 8, is there anything we can do to help with your poll worker recruitment efforts? We don't want to step on any toes, but if you think we could help, let me know. It says, I'm requesting a written response to all these questions and/or suggestions so that I can pass them on to state and local Democratic Party. I also hope they will be made part of the record for the August 18th meeting.
And I attached the SCB rule for the drop boxes behind that somewhere.
Right.
And then I asked other counties how many, drop boxes and their early voting, all that stuff. You'll see that behind there.
Right. We'll, on down in our agenda is discussion of some of this, so we'll get to that. I just wanted, since that was brought to us and more like public comments, I wanted to go ahead and read it. Is there any old business? All right, new business. Discussion of staffing for November general election. Pam, would you like to address this, please?
Yeah. So, not really. We already got all the poll workers kind of lined up for early voting and election day. But I would like for y'all, I know Robert will be out and about, but I would like my board members to be able to go to, precincts, just to drop in to see how they're doing, make sure everything's good. I don't care if you go to all of them, or if you go to one, you just pick one you want to go to, but I would like for y'all to do that for me. Or if y'all got any suggestions, y'all can have at it.
I have a suggestion. I was thinking that instead of, everybody just willy-nilly dropping or not dropping, what if we assigned each of us to a poll, a location, and that will be our precinct to check in on, to, or whatever Pam needs us to do, whatever she needs for that poll that day.
Well, there's just 3 on that day, isn't it?
Polls for Hicksville,
That's
Town,
right.
Salem, and
Right.
Redbone.
That's a good idea. I think.
I'll be at all of them.
Well, I used to go, when Brenda was here, and I loved it because you're surprised at what they're so glad to see you, and they really, really appreciate you coming out and even checking on them. So.
And while we're on that topic, while we're on y'all going, I do not have enough people that y'all voted at the last meeting to have county workers to work the polls, to be the assistant. Not the assistant, the admin. But I don't have enough right now. I'm hoping that I'm kind of looking for one more. Wait, let's see. 1 or 2 more to work that.
Did you get it? Did Sheree send that email again?
Mm-hmm.
Did the people that we talked about?
I don't think they responded yet.
Well, maybe we need to have a face-to-face conversation with them as opposed to just sending them an email. Just ask them personally.
You mean working at the precinct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I think they'll understand it better. I don't know if people are understanding
What I want.
the email.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think we need to.
we need to reach out to them personally.
Yes.
I mean, if you want me to.
I can call them, too. So anyway, just while we talk about
There used to
that.
be a flood, everybody wanted to do that, but now, I guess with the situation.
Yeah, recruit them. Tell them I'll buy them an ice cream. Dairy Queen.
Anyway, that's what I would like for y'all to do. Y'all to be available to go around,
Well, you wanna do it
pick
like,
one.
you wanna do it like Jessica suggests, that's
Mhm.
fine with me.
That's fine with me.
All right, let's.
Me too, I don't
Go
care.
ahead.
I'll be going to as needed. I'll be at Redbone Town, Gatesville. Well, I'll be at all of them at some point during the day. So, other than me,
Let's see,
Before
of
we
course, you're working, and you're
Before we
working.
do that, can I make one more suggestion?
sure.
And it's kind of all in the same. When we have, I guess just from the last election, I saw a lot of what we probably should work on improving. Not that, y'all do a great job, but just as a board, we are responsible for, for this going out the way it should. If we can start attending the election, the poll worker trainings also, just so we can have an idea of what we need to be doing, because Robert it's a lot on him to just be at everyone, they're calling all day. And if we're going to be at these precincts, then at least we can have an idea of what is being done and what's supposed to be done, so we can kind of help Robert some. We may still have to call him, but it may be something, if we're there, we can do. Or we can call him and say, okay, Robert, this is, instead of him having to come all the way out to Yatesville or all the way to Salem, we're there and we can do it. Do you agree with that? Or is that not feasible?
A lot of times what I'm doing, it's not so much technical stuff, it's just running stuff out there. Now, we didn't have that problem at all last election, but in a big election, there are a lot of times where they just run out of something. Like the last election, the form that was being filled out when they wanted to change their ballot, when they received a write-in ballot, but they wanted to cancel it and vote there, and those forms, we were swamped, so I wound up having to run to, I know, two or three of the precincts and take more of those forms.
Yeah, because some of them don't have copiers, so.
Right. Yeah. And so, yeah, doing that would help me. In a technical situation, it may or may not be something you could do, but being familiar enough with the process and what's going on enough that you could call me and I could say, hey, do this, and you would know how to do that better than someone else.
Speaking of the places not having a copier and stuff, there's funding currently, CARES Act funding. Is that something that you think we need to look into getting? Maybe a copier for a precinct that doesn't have one, and see if we can use the CARES Act funding to...
My only concern with that is storage of it.
If we just got like one of those little small ones that's like a printer, copier type thing. I don't know. It's just to put it out there. It's funding available. We have to use it by a certain date, but there is funding available.
That's part of the Dropbox thing too.
Yeah, that may be something to consider.
Some of the precincts like Yatesville, they don't have good phone service out there anyway. So when whoever out there, they trying to call me on this, call our office, this is going to be hard for them. They have a phone, don't they?
Yeah, there's a landline inside the building, but they can't hear it very well, they say, when it rings. So we've tried to call, and it's a number for the community center out there. So that thing may be ringing during the day, and it ain't nothing to do with an election. It's just so they're having to field those phone calls too. People just calling down there. And the cell service is almost non-existent. There are times where we really need to talk to them for a reason, and we can't get a hold of them. I may have fixed the landline problem with not hearing the phone, because when I went out there and they told me that, hey, we can't hear that phone. We ain't never been able to hear that phone. I went over and the ringer's turned off. So I turned the ringer on and called it. And
no wonder.
Sounded like it's hard to hear it when the ringer's turned on. So.
Is it in the room where everything is, or is it in another?
It's away from everything, but it is in that same room. Wow. It's against that back wall back behind them. But I think we can overcome the phone thing. That's not a big deal, in my opinion. But let's give that some thought. We may go ahead and.
Can they get me the tablets too? Because we haven't got them yet.
What tablets?
Yeah, that would be great if that funding would apply to the tablets that we're going to get for someone to check in, find out, make sure they're in the right place and all that before they stand in line.
Have you ordered them? How fast can you get them?
I'm gonna order them this afternoon.
Because the only thing is you have to, I think, have it by the, so if you order it, I would order it and pay for it on a purchase card. So that we can have the paid invoice before September 1st. I don't know if you have to have the actual product by September 1st, but I know it has to be paid for by September 1st. We can try it. I mean, we have to, we have to
September the
get it.
15th.
They may have changed it. The last day I heard was the 1st.
September the 15th. I don't know, hold on. I might have put this somewhere.
But I would try it.
And we've talked about this a time or two, but what did we decide how we were gonna do it, like with a spreadsheet? Just download it?
That's, we're gonna have, because I would like for it to show if they if they already have a ballot issue, you know, like out, but I don't know if we can do that. You know, I would like for it to already have the person's name, you know, that they're registered, and then like their address, and then if they have a ballot out. But if we can't do that, then we definitely just need to have a, you know, just saying they are registered or they're not on the list at all. That way we can say, well, you're not on here, then they can call or whatever.
Right.
Because I was thinking maybe the admin person could do that. Because, you know, one of my coworkers told me that the admin person ain't gonna have nothing to do. That's another thing we need to talk about.
We need to talk to No Ink and see what we might can get from them.
Who's
In the
not
form
gonna
of a
have
file
anything
that we can download and, you know,
File
massage.
from, okay, yeah.
Because
from,
the file that they have now in the poll pad does show that somebody's already got a
Right,
ballot out.
okay.
So if we
Right.
can get the data we need from them, we might can get that.
Do I need to ask them? So we need it, but we are gonna get a tablet, some tablets. Is that what we need, or we?
Right, they probably need to be Windows tablets. It depends on how we're going to do that as to what we would need.
Okay.
It'd be a lot easier to do my end of that with a Windows tablet than it would be an iPad.
Okay. I'll see what I can find out.
Those like Surface Pro, Windows Surface Pro, they're not cheap though. They're $1,200-$1,400 a pop.
That's why I say if we can, see if we can get it under that care.
Cause I'm not gonna get 4. You know, 1 for each precinct. And you know, little Salem, they probably really don't need it. You know, like really one of the other precincts could probably use another, you know, because Salem is smaller. But they all right now. They're like this.
Yeah.
So y'all just say who
And
y'all.
they may not want one. They may say no, we don't
Right.
want to do that. And that's fine if they can handle their stuff a little better. We just need to have people that will know how to do what they need to do. And that goes back to maybe having a county employee,
Right.
you know, there.
I was asking Mary if she was working on election day, because if she is, we don't want that to interfere
Right.
in her working. And so if we need to kind of split,
Oh, it doesn't matter to me.
we can split. I mean, I'll be working, but if I need to leave, you know,
I
I'm
can-
out for that.
Again, I can go to all of them, I hope. Or whatever. What do you want? You're in town
And we're
now.
not, at least in my mind, we're not talking about going there that morning and staying there all day.
Oh,
Right.
just drop in.
We're just talking about
right,
dropping
right,
in.
Yeah,
And maybe being on call
Right.
if
Okay.
we need to
right.
get something to them, you know, and
That way I can say, okay, I can call Janice to take this to someone.
Well, that's what I used to do, would be just go and see the workers, go through that line.
Well,
and they
I
say
tell you
they're
what, I'd like to go to all of them.
Yeah,
You
so,
wanna go with me?
yeah, we'll just do it.
We'll go to all of them, and if you have to work, you won't, unless you want to go somewhere.
Because there is so much that we
You
can
probably
do that
can't.
y'all can't, so I don't mind.
I mean,
really
after
don't.
5 o'clock, I can.
You probably
That'd
go.
be a busy
Where do
time.
you
Maybe
roll
we
out
should do
at,
that.
out
Let,
at the
Red
church?
Room.
we just ride through in the
Yeah.
afternoon.
That's
Yeah,
gonna be the
well,
busy,
Have you said
I think.
the
that-
training?
Yeah, I got it.
Have you got the calendar? Okay.
Oh, Janice, we'll make
Yeah.
a little trip over there. I'd like to go to all of them.
And if y'all can come to early voting too, if that won't help. I mean, you know, that'll help if y'all want to just drop in there.
just, you know,
We put
Once or
our
twice.
mask on and drop in.
Absolutely.
They just dip up on the tongue tied cowboy.
Mine's Auburn. I'm wearing it well.
Mine's Auburn
Thank
too.
Okay.
I didn't wear it this morning.
I didn't wear it this
Just
morning.
getting on me.
I said I didn't want to be ridiculed.
Oh,
All right, discussion of upcoming important dates. I'm going to read this. We will post this on our website, and it's posted outside the election office as well. And there's just some important dates that Pam put together. So let me read this notice just to get this in the record. The elections office would like to make sure the citizens are aware of the following important dates. We have also just created a Facebook page. We encourage voters to go and like it, and this will keep you up to date with information as well. Upson County Board of Elections, as always. Upson County Board of Elections. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, please contact us.
That's the web page, Upson County Board of Elections. That's the name of it on Facebook.
That's the Facebook name
Right.
of the page.
Right.
Upson County Board of Elections. All right. And then the office number is 706-647-6259. All right, the dates. The first day to mail out absentee ballots by mail is September the 15th. Gosh. Would you send a copy of this to the radio station?
I did. I gotta send another one. Yeah, I will.
Because Dave cornered me up yesterday wanting to know about these. And I said, well, I don't know these dates off the top of my head, Dave, but
I will.
So September 15th, first day to mail out absentee ballots. September 15th is also ballot drop box will open. So you can start dropping your ballots in if you want to do that. That drop box is located in the city end of the complex in the drive-through where you drive through to pay your utility bills on the city side. And it is marked, what, absentee drop box?
Yeah, it's got 2 flags on it.
And the last day to register or update your voter information is October the 5th. So that will be the last day to register to vote or update your voter information. Like change of address,
Correct.
that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Early voting begins at the Civic Center October the 12th. There will be a Saturday vote October the 24th. Last day to issue a ballot by mail is October the 30th. And then the last day of early voting is October the 30th. There's also a table located inside the Drake building, right outside the election office,
What was that date? Sorry.
October 30th. So there's an informational table with materials on it outside the door out there.
I didn't realize there's one inside over there. I didn't realize that.
What?
I just dropped mine where you pay your bill outside.
No, not a drop box over there, is it?
We got a drop box in by our door too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought that.
So do y'all want to know about training?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay, so we're gonna have early voting training October the 1st. It's gonna be 8:30 to 12. And it's gonna be in the magistrate's courtroom.
8:30 to 12.
Mm-hmm. That's for early voting. Robert, I need to tell you this. We're gonna set up for early voting October the 9th,
Which is what day?
Friday. She got something on Saturday. I think she said she had something Saturday and Sunday. That's why she said Friday.
October the 9th.
9th,
When does it start?
the 12th.
12th, yes.
So early voting training is October 1st. We're gonna set up for early voting October the 9th. Election day poll worker training is October 13th. Redbone in Salem will be 8:30 to 12, and then Yatesville in town will be 1 to 4 on that day.
What was the times on that afternoon session?
1 to 4.
Excuse me,
1 what?
4 o'clock.
1 to 4.
And 8:30 to 12 is,
Yes. Well, we say 8:30 because, yeah.
Be in the magistrate's court now.
Not the 13th. 13th gonna be at the Civic Center. Sorry. October
Now
13th.
Luke is gonna have to attend the afternoon session, which the rest of his precinct will be that morning, but he
Yeah,
can't,
that's fine.
he cannot come that on. He's all upset
We'll be all right.
about us planning. He said, you know, Monday and Tuesday are the only days I can't, you know. He said, but he can do the afternoon. He can squeeze that one in.
So that's that. And then, of course, Election Day is November the 3rd. So much fun.
D-Day.
It seems like so far away, but it's really not.
No, I don't think it's very far away either.
Okay. Any questions on these dates? All right, moving on. All right, next on the agenda is discussion of the items I read from the Democratic Party earlier. And you know, we will respond to them as requested in writing. We just, you know, let's just go over what we can do, some of the things we can't do. Now there's some requirements. The first thing is consistent hours for voting for advanced voting. I don't quite understand what they mean by consistent hours. We have consistent hours already.
I was gonna say, we've done that.
That's 8:30 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. And then we have a Saturday vote from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock on that Saturday.
I think what he said was everybody, some people that are working would not be able to go from 7, whatever. Is that what it meant?
That was 2.
Huh?
That was the second
Oh,
one.
that's the second one. Okay.
I don't understand the consistent. I thought they're pretty consistent.
Yeah,
Right. So, you know, we do have consistent hours. They not, you know, might not be exactly what they consider wanting different hours, but they are consistent. You know, your employer is required to let you off to vote. They have to by law. So if you're working and that's the time you need to go vote, your employer is required to let you go vote.
And we have an
Period.
excuse for that, a paper to fill out. The poll workers have those.
Right. So, number 2 was, you know, maybe extending it from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'll let somebody give you your thoughts on that.
How many people come to early voting anyway? I mean, between 8:30 and 4:30. I mean, is there a lot of people that come during that time frame?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, would it be beneficial to extend it from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.?
I would not say 7 to 7. I mean, I think
that's a long time.
that's a long time
And the same
for 3
people every
weeks
day.
for early voting. And
I mean, it's hard to ask somebody to stay 12 hours a day, every day.
For 3 weeks.
I agree. I mean, if we absolutely needed to extend the hours, maybe
Because of long
one-
waiting lines or something
one
like
day
that.
a week, but not 7 to 7 every day. I mean, if you wanted to extend, do it 12 day a week or once.
I just think if you do that, you're gonna confuse people. Then they're gonna be like, oh, well, I
agree.
thought y'all were doing this, and now y'all changed it to this, and you know, what day are y'all? You know, I think it'll be confusing if we do one day.
And I think from 8:30 to 4:30, then you're gonna have a Saturday. If you can't get there during the week, you're gonna have that Saturday that you could go.
I mean, I agree because, I mean, I work and I made it to early voting during a weekday and still had lunch. So you can pack a ham sandwich on that day and eat it on the way.
We don't, you know, back in the days when you worked shifts, that could have been a problem, but we don't have that many
Well, even at
folks
shifts,
working shifts now, but, so,
Well, my feeling on a lot of this kind of stuff is that there is personal responsibility
Right.
involved in anything you do, to include voting.
amen.
If you want to vote, we make it pretty easy for you to vote.
Vote.
We give you 3 weeks to go early vote. You can get one in the mail. You don't even have to leave your home. And we'll address some of that in a minute.
I will never
Two.
forget the time that, I think we were up down there. We closed at 4:30, I was worried that day with y'all, and this woman come running in, and it was about 25 minutes till 5, and she'd come from somewhere else, long way, and she was very upset, but there again, like you say, I think there's a personal responsibility, and
And you look at the Pike County, I got that, and Lamar County, I think they both open 8 to 5 for their early voting. You know, during the,
yeah.
that's it, just their office hours is what they do. That's it.
Well, I got no problem extending to
Well, I was gonna say, what would we have a problem with that?
And the only thing that I, is that our, you know, our office opens at 8 and we don't vote in the office anymore.
Right.
They vote in their office. We would have to go over to the Civic Center to get them set up. And I know Robert helps with that, and that's great. We appreciate that. Now, if we do 8 to 5, you know, they'll be there till after 5, of course,
They're going
to, you know,
just like this woman.
and even if people get off at 5, that's
Then
still
fine.
gonna be, but I mean, that would be my only suggestion is let's do 8 to 5, but I would, whatever y'all wanna do, you know, it doesn't matter to me.
Well, the Civic Center doesn't open till 8. They don't even want any, that's why we've always done 8:30. They don't even want anybody in the building,
Well, then you need
even
time.
poll workers, till 8 o'clock.
They need
So
to
we
take a little
can't,
bit of time to.
we can't get there at 8 and open at 8. Because see,
That-
they're
Yeah, cause I
they got
tell
wet
them,
floors and all that's
Yeah.
their reason for that.
cause I tell them on the first day to try to get there like at 7:45, but I have to let them know that they're coming, so they'll let them in. So they can get there and get the stuff open and everything signed and all that good stuff.
well,
Well, we've had a
My
lot of people
suggestion-
do early voting,
They
so it
do,
must
yeah.
not be a problem.
My suggestion would be
Right.
to leave the 8:30 start time and go to 5 o'clock.
Yeah, that'd be good.
It gives the workers time to get in there and get everything ready. There's things you have to do. And
I know.
when you advertise at 8 o'clock, people are gonna be there standing in
Oh,
line.
yeah, they there anyway at
you know.
8 o'clock, and we don't open at 8:30, they be there waiting.
Oh, yeah,
So that's just gonna compound that problem.
Right.
People, they getting aggravated. Oh, y'all supposed to open at 8 o'clock.
So you're talking
We
eight-
can't even get in the building till 8 o'clock.
8:30 to 5 would be the only change. Do I need to make a motion?
What do you think, Pat?
Mhm.
But, is that agreeable?
That's good to know.
You know, and another thing, and this might sound economical, and it is. We're gonna be paying in overtime. And
Yeah, cause I was thinking
we start
about,
running over.
I'm gonna have to go up on their pay because I give them a flat rate. But if I'm asking them to work longer, I'm gonna have to give them more money. So, just know that. Yeah.
Well, they deserve it.
Oh, yeah, they do, but they work hard.
And I've been there, I know.
Yeah, I love doing it.
I mean,
Okay.
it's a long day,
Yeah.
but
So,
it's a fun day.
Well, that's what I've always did. We loved it.
I enjoy doing it.
let's entertain a motion if anybody wants
I'd like
to
a motion.
extend that till 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I so move that we extend it.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, motion by Jack and second by Janice to extend early voting on weekdays from 4:30 p.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. Any other discussion? All in favor? Raise your right hand. Any opposed? All right, so that passes unanimously. Do we want to mess with the Saturday vote?
No, I think the state does that. I think they did it 9 to 4, but I'll double check that. But I think that's good. I mean,
Okay.
That's a long time.
yeah.
Now, I want to address the next item about going to 7 days a week, or at least the addition of a Sunday. Now, what I'm about to give you is my opinion. My opinion is we should be voting on Sunday under any circumstance.
Amen.
And I personally, of course, that would be a board decision, but I would never vote to early vote on a Sunday. Ever. And the day that, I'll just tell you, the day that the federal guidelines change, if they ever do, or the state to require us to vote on a Sunday, is the day I'll resign.
Wow.
I will not do it on a Sunday, period.
Well, then that's asking people to not go to church and actually come to work that day.
Right. You know, and you can argue all you want about, well, there's people that have to work on Sundays and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's fine.
That's their job. Just
If you
to
choose
actually-
to, but, you know,
That's
I will
right.
never vote for
We
that.
already have a hard time getting poll workers as it is. I mean, I don't want to, you know,
Make a man.
I can work every day but that day, you know, so.
That just muddies up the water in all kinds of ways, not to mention the moral and ethical.
But what else did it say? What was the other part?
Paying.
7 days a week, or at least the addition of a Sunday
Oh.
vote. No.
It just says currently scheduled hours do not work for people who have jobs. Well, again, I say, your employer is required to let you go vote, period.
Amen.
And then there's absentee, well,
Right, there's all kinds of ways to
All
vote.
kinds to do it.
All right, moving on. We'd like to see more than one location for advanced voting. It's hard to staff one advanced voting location. That's my opinion. Anybody else can chime in.
I mean, we have some, has anybody ever said that's a problem for them? You? Nobody's ever said that to me.
well, this past time was the first time we had done it, wasn't it? No.
Well, no, we've always had just one early voting location.
No,
we
I
want-
knew that, yeah, but I was thinking of,
All right. Yeah, it's hard to staff one for 3 weeks, much less two. And the
And
cost
five.
involved, I mean, that doubles your cost. And it's not cheap.
Well, the different areas, that's what election day's for. For the different precincts, not early
Exactly.
voting.
I agree. And, you know, it'd be different if you're in Atlanta, we got 4 million people.
right.
But, I mean,
We can't even get all 15,000 votes.
Right, I was gonna say, they're,
Well, we've moved up. We have 18,000
Oh, we
registered.
done moved up.
We have 18,000 and
That means
something
we'll
registered
have
voters.
13,000 votes, 5,000 usually, which is a shame.
And then some elections we have, you know, they don't come, they just don't come, they're not interested in it. And I know this coming one,
Oh, this will be a big turnout.
And we had
It's
a
gonna be
huge
a big-
turnout, in June.
oh yeah, because we had local,
And there's gonna be some more.
Yeah.
It's already placed.
all right, number 5, say we'd like to see more than one drop box location. Well, Pam attached the guidelines for a drop box location. And the high points of that are, number 1, they have to be on county-owned or municipality-owned property. So that's a challenge to start with. You can't just go out somewhere and put up a drop box. Number two is wherever you do have a drop box, they have to be watched by camera 24/7, and the footage has to be retained 30 days after, a minimum of 30 days after the election is certified. So,
Well, I think everybody in the county has to come to town at least once a week.
you would think,
I would think they would.
and I just don't see the need.
And also, we have to like have two people to go to the drop boxes, like me and somebody else, or Kelly and Miss Lane. There has to be two people at all times to go pick the stuff, because it can't be one person, because I don't want you to say that person threw his ballots away or
Right.
whatever. And we have to sign off on
understand
that, the time and all that. We have to document that.
If it's a freestanding box, then outside, that's weatherproof and all those things, you have to have a camera watching it. If it's a mail slot type drop box, then it has to be lockable on the inside. Whatever it's dropping into on the inside has to be lockable, and they both have to be monitored by a camera, the inside box and the outside slot. There's just no way to accommodate that with what we have in place, or can get in place by November, realistically. I just don't see the need,
And
personally.
it has to be a fix. It has to be like attached to the
Ground.
ground. It can't just be.
So we couldn't go like to one of our church precincts and put in a drop box. We don't own that property. So that, only places I can just think of off the top of my head would be like the Civic Center. Well, that's just a hop, skip, and a jump over here from what we got here. So I don't see the need for that personally. Putting one at the community center in Yatesville might be, that's municipal owned property. They own it. We could do that, but we'd have to put cameras on it, do all those things. Then we gotta have staff go out there every day, 2 people, and get the ballots. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze.
Well, there again, I think in a place like Atlanta and all those places, that's different. But in Thomaston, I personally just don't see it, but that's my opinion.
All right, moving on then. And at any time, if somebody wants to bring a motion to do any of these, you're welcome to do that. Number 6 talks about wanting to pre-populate the vote by mail applications. So basically, you want to address that,
I
Pam?
do. I do. So the Center for Voter Information, I think that's the name of the place. I have my application in the office. I forgot to bring it. But they have already mailed out applications. And I don't know if everybody's getting them, but they have. And so I got one, I think, well, here, you just got it. But it don't say it on this part, though. Anyway, they have mailed out applications, and we're getting them back. So that's already done. People can call us. We will be glad to mail them. If they're not on the rollover list, they're not elderly or disabled, or you a copper, we'll be glad to mail them an application. We have no problem with that. And we've done it since, I don't know, the past couple of weeks, so they're welcome to call us.
Well, let's just diagnose it a little bit. From a money standpoint, if we even wanted to consider doing it. So if we sent out an application to every registered voter, which is 18,000, what would that cost just in postage? Just in postage,
50 cents.
50 cents.
$9,000
Right.
plus the effort of doing it all. So you calculate in that. So let's call it $12,000 to get it done. That's just to mail out the application.
And you have to take into the fact that some of those are gonna come back
Come
because
back.
the
I was-
addresses are not correct and they haven't updated them.
Are they-
So you get all this stuff back.
Right.
I have a drawer in my office, maybe two, that has the ones that the state mailed out, that we received back, that we have to keep, that had the wrong, was undeliverable. So, I mean, or when they did say, oh, well, did you get that one? Because, oh, well, I moved from that address. Okay, well, that's why you didn't get the last one,
Did you
So-
update it?
It's,
Yeah, we got people that've lived 5 different places from the time they registered to vote.
You got people that live 5 different places. from
Right,
the
you just,
I mean,
that is the honest truth.
Like we, and then they get mad because you didn't update their
People that live in 5
address.
different places in 5 months.
that's what I'm saying. By the
Yeah.
time you get ready to
You know,
vote.
I had
And
to
then-
chase them down and chase them down and chase them down.
But they-
Usually what I do is ride around and I see some of the kids and playing, and I say, well, that must be where they live.
Well, that's just the application.
yeah, that's just the
Yeah.
So,
application.
let's say we have the same amount that got a ballot in June, that was about 3,800. So now we mail out 3,800 ballots. What's it cost to mail a ballot? More than 50 cents?
60, I think it's 65 or 60,
Wow.
65 cents, I want to say.
So 65 cent each, let's call it, times 3,800 of those. And then they want us to pay the postage from to send it back in. So that's
Now,
double, that's $1.30.
I don't
Total.
understand how that, if we don't even, okay, so if we did mail them a ballot, we physically did it. But the state is doing a lot of the mail outs this time as well. Runbeck is doing it again for us. So we won't have no control over that. We won't have any control over it. We've got 1,500 that we already put in the system to get a ballot now. So they're gonna do it. So but if we start putting postage on envelopes inside of it, yeah, that
Yeah.
would-
I mean, that's just where, you see where I'm going with
So,
that.
like, that's, yeah, I
And-
can say a lot.
I just say that people, as much as we can, let people know that if they didn't get an application, they can always call and we'll mail them an application, but we can't, I mean, it's not feasible to send everybody one and then just pay for postage for it to come back.
I mean, it all goes back to personal responsibility. There's a certain amount of personal responsibility in everything you do. I mean, you pay your bills.
Brush your teeth.
You either mail them in
You hope.
You hope you brush your teeth.
or you go put them in a drop box somewhere. So, I mean, you do all those things already. So what's the difference? All right. Number 7, no, we covered that. Is there? Number 8, this is the last item. They just said if there's anything we can do to help with the recruitment efforts of poll workers, they'd be glad to do that.
So you can call, ask them, did you want to work?
Well, yeah. And I got, who do I have? Jackie Hollis. I don't think she can work the precinct because she's a elected official, can she? I'm going to have to look in the code book for that. Mary, look in your code book. See if it says poll worker. Look in the back, in the very, very back, and see.
Under what?
Go under, I think it's poll worker qualifications.
Qualifications.
Yeah. But anyway, she wanted to know if she was interested in working also, so, somewhere. I asked if she wanted to go to Gatesville, she said she would, if I need her. So let me talk to the board real quick and see if I,
Well, that's good. If,
If she can, if she
as long as she's not on the ballot.
No, she's not,
You know,
She
I know she
qualified,
couldn't
that'd
work
be
if she
great.
were on a ballot,
right.
for sure. But I don't just know by the fact that she's an
It's not
elected
in there.
official that she.
I see poll officers and poll watchers
I'll look it up.
and polls for voters after voting. But I don't see anything about,
But y'all wouldn't have a problem with that if she can. Y'all wouldn't have a problem.
We just, as far as recruitment efforts for poll workers, you just handle that with them.
And I think Kim Larson maybe it's his wife. She put her name down, and the state sent me a, you know, they have a thing where they, you know, have poll workers that they, so she must have filled out something with the state, and so I got it. So if I need her, I will ask her.
All right, good. And again, we'll respond to all of these in writing to them.
Yes, Mary, I need your notes. Or you can take you got the questions, and then you can just type them up for me, and I can give it to them. Appreciate it.
Okay.
I'm sure I'm glad you accepted it.
That's all the business we have on the agenda. Board member comment. We'll start with Jessica and move around.
I haven't looked at her today.
Mr. Jack?
Oh, just glad to be here, and I wish this math stuff was over with. I know y'all do too. Glad to be here. Glad you're doing a great job, Dottie.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Janice?
Just going back to, you have gotten several of the applications.
Oh yes, we got a bin for yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Mhm.
So that, if I'm correct when I did mine, you send that back to the, oh, you
It
send that
comes
to
to
you?
us.
It comes to
Mhm.
you, then it goes to the state, okay.
Yeah, it comes to us, and then we process it in the system, and then they'll turn around till the cutoff date for Runbeck, when they're going to mail out ballots. We'll enter them into eNet, and they'll mail out the ballot. And then we just, after they tell us to cut off, then we'll start mailing ballots out ourselves in the office, from the office to the voter.
When is that cutoff?
We don't know yet. They haven't given us a date yet.
The only thing I'll say, and this might not be the time to do it, is that I would urge all the people that vote absentee to please put that ballot in that envelope where it will come back and we have no problems with it.
If there's an envelope this time, we don't know.
If there-
It may be a sleeve. Okay, so we
Oh, yeah.
don't know.
Right.
People.
Well, that's what I mean, though, yeah.
You know, it could be a sleeve, it could be a envelope. Just know that put it in there. If it says official ballot, put it in there.
Make sure they don't try to be overhelp on cutoff.
Oh yeah, yes. Somebody please say it.
Please
But other
do
than
not
that-
cut the ballot.
So, and they've already cut applications.
Well, that's what I wanted to say about
Send it back exactly how you
You
got
got
it. Okay, you fill it out and you put it back the way you got it.
Well, and also the state has put new instructions at the top of the ballot.
Good.
Better?
So, yes, it's bullet points, and it says if you need to spoil a ballot, this is what you do. Do not write on ballot. It has specific bullet points.
Oh,
on it.
good.
I should have brought one. So I could see
Absolutely
it.
told this is signed.
People would just read it and follow the
That's what I'm
instructions.
saying.
We wouldn't have a problem.
Well, the problem is they'll read
That's
it,
what
but they
this-
won't follow it.
that's
They'll
my
do what
wife
they want to
saying
do.
right. I said,
The little bitty-
you didn't need to sign. But she
Exhausting
did.
things that happen
Oh, yeah.
that evidently they're not thinking of. That's where we run into trouble because we're supposed to be the guess of Superman. I don't know. And I do get very ill at some people when they say, well, why do you do this? Well, you know, you just have to keep your mouth shut.
Those are the kind of people that see a door and it says pull and they push it, okay?
Oh, I know it. Hey,
I do it sometimes.
but
Janice, anything?
I do appreciate what you've done.
When I do that, I look around and see who was looking. That guy's stupid, he can't read.
Mary,
I don't have anything.
you don't? All right. I'll just say, the only thing I'll add, I'll be talking with Bill about when we're gonna do LNA testing on or advanced voting and election day stuff. But just looking at the calendar, probably either the middle of that last week of the 21st of September, we'll probably early vote, test the early voting equipment that during that
September, what
time.
you said?
And that may just be me and Jemiah doing that. If Bill wants to come, he's more than welcome, but,
If you don't have to come,
mhm,
if you don't have to come,
yeah, Mike. He don't-
September the what?
He don't usually
20
come.
the
We
week of
usually-
the 21st.
I usually handle that.
Oh, okay.
But election day, LNA, I'll talk with him and we'll nail down that prior to our next meeting in September. The meeting in September is where we'll finalize the official calendar of everything else.
Will we have a, state person?
Yeah. Jemiah. She texted me over the weekend. Well, actually, I think it was Sunday or either yesterday.
Okay,
She
so.
was just asking when we were going to get started back. All that.
You know, Kelly's always looking up stuff for me. Look up 21 to. Oh, you know I can't see. My glasses over there. Hold on. What's that? 21.
Let me ask you this, Robert.
292.
The Republican Party and the Democratic Party will
Yes.
select
21 to 92.
who they want to come and watch the count.
The voter review panel.
Uh-huh.
There it is.
I mean, we don't do it, they do.
Officer services.
We have a delegate
Oh, yeah, yeah,
from the board,
yeah.
I'll
and
read it, 21. I'll look at it.
they have-
Y'all say y'all don't care.
they appoint
I just look at it.
up to 2, I think. So does each party have 2 appointments on the voter review panel? Is that what it is? Up to 2?
Mm-hmm.
They
All right.
usually only
Yes.
do 1.
Two.
Um,
Oh, so y'all had said y'all were gonna be thinking, I think y'all had said something about y'all need some, not qualifications, like, what did you say?
Mhm.
What was it? Not qualifications, but
Rules.
rules for the parties when they bring these people
Yeah.
to do whatever. So y'all
Absolutely.
think about that, so that, when's our next meeting? So we
No, we
can,
hadn't
September
done
the
that.
Third Tuesday.
In other words, tell them that they can't bring in a thing to clean up that night.
like, no, no eating at the, when we're doing
I
ballots,
don't want to leave.
no talk, that type of stuff.
Eating them goobas and
That blue dot line 999.
throwing holes everywhere.
Well, my plan is to have another adjoining room by the time we have this election. And
We get fancy.
Well,
so,
I
you know,
think that's
we'll
a
set
great
up
deal,
something to
Robert,
keep,
yeah.
you know, because once they're sequestered, you know, we'll need a place to go eat, but we don't want it being up there outside of public view and all those things.
That's good.
We need,
That's a good idea.
we definitely need to set up some rules for that. All right.
I definitely agree, and I know Jessica does.
Oh, one other thing before we go to, one last thing. Y'all don't mind, I'm gonna ask Ms. Elaine to start working every day, because
You need her.
yeah, I'm gonna need her. Just so y'all know.
All right, absolutely. When's our next meeting?
15th, I think it is.
15th of September.
September 15th.
Yeah.
That's the 3rd Tuesday.
That's the first day to mail out absentee ballot.
Right.
All right, so everybody good for September 15th, be our next meeting? Any other comments for the good of the order? If not, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Jessica, second.
I second.
Second by Janice. All in favor, stand to your feet.
Oh,
Don't
Well,
leave
that's
though.
hard.
Thank you all.
That's getting harder to do.
Turn the camera off and don't leave though.
yeah, is it out?
This one.